and welcome back to Opal&Mint. I am Ashley, and today we're going to do a combination video of painting a flower and a review. This video is getting up very late today, and I apologize for my appearance. I've had a rough morning. I have no hair on. I have no makeup on, and I did nothing to my hair, and I don't know, my morning started off great, and then I was going to film earlier, and it just took a turn for the worse, and I had a rough morning, but I got to finish this intro with them mowing the lawn, so I'm sorry if you hear that in the background, but we're going to get into the painting in just a second. But today, I wanted to paint a sunflower. It's a gloomy, rainy day, which, why are they mowing? And I just felt like painting sunflowers today, and I had a request for it, so I'm painting the sunflower in two different ways, two different styles, all the while reviewing the new Meeden watercolor brushes. So this is a new set from Meeden, and I do have a discount code down below. I think it's Opal&Mint. You can get, I think, 12% off on their website, but you can also find these on Amazon as well. So either place, I believe last time I looked, there was like a coupon on Amazon for these. I will link them both below. That way you can look and see what's the best option for you. But anyway, if you're wanting to pick them up, I'm not telling you to pick these up. I'm just reviewing them for you. Oh, my morning. Anyway, so here are the Meeden new watercolor brush set, and let's just go ahead and get into painting some beautiful sunflowers. All right, so today we're going to be painting sunflowers, like I said in the intro. Starting off with a fresh pad of watercolor paper, and this is the Meeden cold press 100% cotton, and it is one of my favorites to use. It is a really good option if you are just getting into watercolor and wanting to take it a little bit more seriously, where you need to get some cotton paper. This one is not too expensive. It's a really nice paper. And since it does come on a pad, it keeps your paper nice and flat. So when you get a watercolor pad, oftentimes there is a sheet of paper on top of it that is not watercolor paper that you take off. And I'm going to show you, in case you haven't used a watercolor pad before, how you take your paper off. Some pads come with a tool that you can use, but you can use a palette knife, you can use a butter knife even, anything that's long and flat. All right, so you just take the palette knife and you slip it into, there is one little opening here that's about 1.5 to 2 inches wide, and you just slit your knife in there and you go around the edges to take it off of the glue. And we are ready with a fresh pad of paper. When you're painting on a block, also, you paint it and then you let it dry before you take it off the block, because if you take it off the block when the paper's still wet, it kind of negates the whole reason for using it, because your paper's going to warp. So if it's stretched and you use it and then it dries, it should stay relatively flat when you take it off after it's dried. Okay, so for today's video, may have said this in the intro, but I originally just wanted to come on here and paint some sunflowers. It's a rainy, gloomy day here, and I just wanted to paint sunflowers, but I figured I would take this opportunity to give you a review of the new Meeden watercolor brushes. Now, here is the set of watercolor brushes, and I really love this style of brush, this kind of mop or quill style brush. And the previous Meeden brushes are, this is not all of them, I just pulled down a few. They're different shapes and they have their purpose as well, but I really, really like painting with this style of brush. This is actually one of my favorites from the other Meeden watercolor set. It's a really good one to lay down flat washes with, but there's even a fan brush. There's many different styles and shapes in the other set, but this is their brand new set. I love the wooden handles, and the quality so far, I've used them a handful of times, so far has been really, really nice. So we're gonna use these today to paint a sunflower, and I'm also using Meeden's paper. If you are new and you have joined us since this past month's watercolor month, I've used a lot of different paints this past month, but my go-to Daniel Smith palette has been neglected this month, and so I desperately am wanting to use this again. So my Holbein and my Daniel Smith are my two favorites, and I'll bounce back and forth between those a lot. But I have a lot of paint, so I use a lot of it. But I wanted to start today with my Daniel Smith because it's just one of my all-time favorite. No, it is my all-time favorite paint. Okay, so to paint a sunflower, I actually think I want to paint two different ones. We're going to paint the sunflower a couple of different ways. Well, that's not the right button. Let's look at a picture really quick of a sunflower just so we have our reference. We're not going to copy it exactly. We're just going to look to see generally what a sunflower looks like. So we have an image in our head. Now, a lot of times when I paint sunflowers, I like to paint kind of the brown and then the little bit of green that's in the center, and then obviously the petals. There's different variations. Some of them have more light centers. Some of them are really just dark. So you can paint your sunflower however you would like. We are going to start with one that has the brown and the green. And we might paint a second painting. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so for sunflowers, I like to start in the middle. And I'm going to start with a size 5. So let's see. Man, I sure did miss this palette. All right, so I'm going to start with some brown here. I'm going to mix up. If you can't tell, I mix color everywhere on this thing. And this is a very, very well-loved palette. So I have a very watery, kind of watered down brown here. And this is how we're going to start our center. I think I want to do 2 flowers on this painting. So we're going to put one a little bit off to the side here. And sunflowers have a very large center relative to their petal length. So we want a nice big center. Now, what I like to do next is I take a deeper brown, which this one's almost gone. I need to refill this. And I like to tap it along the edge of my center. Just kind of deepen up that outer edge, giving some dimension to that center. And we're doing this all while it's still wet. And since this paper is 100% cotton, it should stay wet long enough for us to play a little bit. Just adding where I want some deeper color. Coming in a little bit even. Okay. Now I'm going to take a green, and I'm going to take my favorite green. It's Serpentine Genuine down here, and I'm just going to tap this in the center of the center. So there is the start of our sunflower. Now from here, there's a couple things you can do. You can let this dry, or you can go straight into your flower petals and kind of let them bleed a little bit out. I like the looser style, so I generally go straight into the flower petals, so that's what I'm gonna do. So let's take, I'm gonna start with a lighter yellow. So this is my Cad Yellow Medium, and then we're gonna go into the new Gamboge after, but I wanna start with this. So again, very simple, starting with a tip. These brushes have a nice fine tip, and then we're gonna push them out and then lift. This brush is ideal for painting sunflowers because it has such a big fat belly. You can really push that out and get a nice full petal. And see, I touched some there and it bled into the center of that. That's the look I want to go for. Now, when I'm going around, I like to bounce back and forth between the sides to kind of help me keep them somewhat even. Instead of starting and then going around, I kind of go opposite sides back and forth. So just kind of push that belly through. Get some that are lighter, so get some more water on your brush for some, and then some that have more pigment. And make them kind of bend in different ways. Don't make them all just perfectly straight out. Have the end of the petal bend, or even the whole petal. just make it a little bit wonky to make it look a little bit more organic. We do not want it to be perfection. Okay, so we're just gonna go around, fill this in, lots and lots of flower petals. As they get closer together, you start to overlap some. Just make it nice and full. Okay, almost done. Okay, so next step is I'm going to add a little bit of detail on this. So I'm going to put my number 5 down and I'm going to get a size 3. All right, so at this point I'm going to take my deeper yellow. So my new gamboge, this is a little bit more orangey, a little warmer of a yellow. And ideally, some of these petals will still be wet. I want some of this to blend a little bit, and then we can go on with some more defining lines once it's dry. But we want a little bit of depth at the base of some of these petals. So we're just going to put in a little bit of this. And again, a lot of these are actually dry now. So if you still want that blended look, you can put your mark down, rinse your brush off, tap it on your cloth, and you can still have a more blended look, even if you did not make it while those were still wet. But some of them, I'm going to be okay. I do want some actual lines and not just a blended. So kind of mix it up. So I'm just curving with each petal, and I want some coming from the top of those petals and some of them coming from the base. I'm not going to overdo it, but we're just going to put a little bit of detail in here. So like that line was too dark for me, so I washed my brush off, and I'm just going to kind of push this, blend that out. Just like that. All right, so I feel like I have enough detail for now. I was going to put another one here, kind of facing that way. I'm trying to decide if I want to do that or if I want, I'm going to blend this. This brown is getting a little bit choppy, so I'm going to blend that out. Or if I just want to put greenery going out that direction. What should I do? What should I do? Should I put a second one in? I feel like I just want to put some greenery on this one, and then we'll do a second one that's even looser and a little bit more freeing. I feel like this one's freeing, but it's still a little bit stiff. So I want to take, I'm going to go back to my size 5. Let me get a glance at the leaves. They're pretty like broad leaves, just a typical leaf shape. All right, so I'm going to mix my greens. So I'm going to take kind of a sap green. I think that is actually sap green. And then some of Serpentine Genuine, the other one I used. And we're just going to pull a leaf out this way. Oh, I love yep, I'm going to leave that one just like that. I love doing leaves. I am going to tap a little bit more color on this side though, while that's still wet. Okay. And then I'm going to push one out this way. These brushes are perfect for getting fat leaves and things. Do I want, I think I do want kind of one going off the edge there. A little bit more concentrated pigment here. Right. Even want, I'm just gonna push through the side of that belly that way. And even coming through there. And one more. Kind of drooping down. And maybe one this way as well. Okay, so we've got a nice, I love the center of this. We could add some more depth in the center. It's still a little bit wet. Let's see what we can do. So I'm taking my Van Dyke Brown. It's a little bit deeper and cool. This is the one I used on the edge to begin with. And I'm just gonna, it is still a little bit wet. So I'm just gonna tap in a little bit more of that brown. We're just further deepening that center. And I think I want to do the same with the green. Tap a little bit here. Taking my Serpentine Genuine, and I'm just gonna tap it right in the center. Oh, that's pretty. I like that a lot. I really want to do more on the leaves. I should probably wait till it's dry, but I'm not going to because I'm impatient. So I'm gonna take impatient painter here. Just taking my green and down the center and a few veining lines. So some of these are a little bit dry, some of them are not dry at all. If you want to have sharp veining lines, just wait until it's dry. I just like painting and not stopping a lot of times. It helps. It's part of the stress relieving aspect of watercolor for me, is to not have to stop, just like continue playing. I don't know, it's just how I like to paint a lot of the time. Okay, so I've got some more of the deeper yellow. I'm trying to decide if I want to add in a few more brush strokes here and there. So I'm taking the deeper yellow, but I have it a little bit watered down, so it's not too much. And I'm just adding in some kind of shadowing in some more of these petals. I feel like there needs to be one back there. And maybe here. Okay, so this is our first sunflower. We're gonna do one more that's kind of facing the side a little bit and is a little bit more carefree and free. Carefree and free. So I'm gonna take this one off, and then we will do one that maybe like a 5-minute sunflower, like super quick. All right, so I've changed the orientation of my paper. We're going to do a vertical instead of horizontal composition. And we're gonna do one that's kind of facing up that way. So think of kind of this, but we're gonna go that way. No, maybe we will go this way. I normally go to the right side for some reason. That's just, I don't know why, but maybe we'll go this way. But I want this one to be like filling the page. Like I want this to be going off the page. This is gonna be super big, carefree. We're gonna go for this. So since the flower is not facing us directly, it's facing this way, our middle, just like you could see my hands, turns more into an oval instead of a circle. I'm trying to make a circle with my hands. I'm very sorry. I'm not very good at this. Maybe this will help. So it's a circle, perfect circle when it's right above you. When it turns, it looks more squished. It's more of a oval than a circle. I hope that helped, that visual. Anyway, so we're going to tilt our flower this way. So our center is going to be a little bit more squished. Our petals on this side are going to be longer, and the ones on this side are going to be short because they're coming at us. I hope that made sense. So we're going to start with our center. This one, I want it to be just brown in the center, and I'm actually going to start with kind of a reddish brown. I don't know why, but I am. So let's do, I'm talking big. I want this to be going off of the page. Do you see how easy that was with this giant brush? Okay, I want to add in some other brown though. I don't want that to be the only brown. So let me take our Van Dyke, and we're going to just kind of slap some of this around the edge. Okay, this is the beauty of watercolor right here, is putting two colors down and watching them kind of blend. And I'm going to put just a little bit in the center, just like so. Okay, just going to let that do its thing. Okay, so there is our center to our sunflower. All right, we're going to go straight into the new gamboge. So this is the deeper, actually, no. I'm going to show you what my favorite color is to use for sunflowers, and that's quinacridone gold. When you use it lightly, it's a pale yellow. When you use it richly, it's like a rich, I don't know how to explain it. We're going to use it though. So I'm going to take my Quin Gold, and we're going to start on this side. And I'm just going to, oh, do you see that sunflower yellow? Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so we're just going to very, very loosely, like I even want, if you drip color on the page, I want that to happen, okay? So go out this way. We just want these petals to be carefree, loose. Oh, look at that. This color also travels, so it's going into the center, and I am a-okay with that. So we are just putting in some strokes here. Just like that. Okay. Right, so we're going to start coming around to the front, and I even want to have some of these petals. We're going to do one that comes up into the center here. We'll have some short, fat ones here. Kind of just plop color down. Don't worry too much about shape. We just want to have some color. And then as your petals go around, kind of curve them up this way. Yes. Everything about this is yes. I even want, like, I want to splash some color. Just, I want it to be wild, okay? Like this flower is just splashed on the page, okay? So I do want to put some green in here. See, I'm just still splashing things. I love this chaos. And you see these Daniel Smith paints granulate. It's just, it's chef's kiss. Okay, let's take, I'm going to take, green, no, not that one. I want undersea green. So I'm going to take undersea green, and I'm just going to mix it in with the greens that I already had on my palette. Undersea green is a beautiful granulating color. And I just want to like put in a broken line, just stem. What is this called? There we go. Okay. And then we're just gonna, okay, that made me happy as all get out. I don't know why. Oh, the dry brushing on the bottom edge of that. I'm gonna attach this just barely down here. And then I wanna do one going up this way. Okay, this right here is what watercolor is all about, okay? So we're gonna do one. So I went on the side of the brush and just quickly, so you have some dry brushing where it's skipping. I'm done. Fantastic, I'm done. There's two completely different styles. This is still watercolor and loose, but it's a little bit more placed. This is just free. I love that so much. You can also let this dry and do your accent lines, your little detail veining, whatever. I think I'm gonna leave this. I am leaving this the way it is. I love the watercolor splashes going into the leaf. Like everything about this is just what watercolor to me is. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. This was really fun for me. So my review on these brushes, they are fantastic. I have not had one shed. The bristles, whoops, I've got green in that one and it's here. We'll just splatter this around too. The bristles are nice and soft. They're nice and bendy without being too floppy, so you can still control it. It still bounces back a little bit. So I think that these would be great for a beginner getting into like a quill shaped brush or mop shaped brush. And the range of sizes in this is amazing. You have some small detail brushes, and these are fun for details because they do come to a fine point, but they also have that big belly, so you can get fatter brush strokes. So these are fantastic. I'm so excited about the sunflower, and it completely turned my day around. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did though, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you want to see our future videos, hit that subscribe button down below. We'll see you guys next time. Bye. Mowing the lawn again.